What is up, Bulls? It is Mr. President, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a quick basic lesson on support and resistance. I will make more of these if they prove to be helpful and you guys do utilize it and like it. So, yeah, I'm going to start off here with my disclaimer. I am not a registered investment advisor or broker, dealer, or affiliated with any financial institutions in any jurisdiction and am not qualified to give financial or life advice. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Never invest in any stock/equity associated with me unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. This disclaimer is to be read and fully understood before exploring these strategies. So, let's start off. What is support and resistance? Support and resistance are certain predetermined levels of the price of a security at which it is thought that the price will tend to stop and reverse. These levels are denoted by multiple touches of price without a breakthrough of the level. Psychology of support and resistance. Support and resistance are only substantial because of traders' perception and emotion. For example, as a trader sees a stock that they own approaching a level of resistance, they sell due to the thought and fear that the stock cannot continue its uptrend. Evidently, this causes the apparent resistance level to act as a price that the stock has trouble passing, due to the number of shares that must be purchased to buy up all of the sells. It must also be used by It may also be used by algorithms anticipating human emotion, playing off of other traders. Round numbers. A stock may face support/resistance at round numbers. For example, 50, 51, 52, 100, 1000, etc. Most inexperienced traders tend to buy or sell a stock at a whole number due to the thought that it is at fair value at such levels. I often do find myself doing the same thing, so I can back this up. Also, many traders place their target prices or stop orders at round numbers as well. Moreover, round numbers tend to act as support or resistance due to human preference. Moving averages. Moving averages may also act as support or resistance. Some popular moving averages that I use and many other traders use are the 20-day, 50-day, and 200-day. These you can find as EMAs in the indicator section of your whatever you use, screener or whatnot, or you can use SMAs, simple moving averages, which is what I use, and they are more or less the same. So as far as volume goes, when approaching a level of support or resistance, I'm going to use resistance in this case. I have observed that with larger volume pouring in as a stock approaches a level of resistance, the larger volume than the last time the resistance level was rejected, you should look for a breakout as the stock has more momentum this time. So I know I kind of worded that a little bit confusing, but so a stock sets a resistance level by failing to break through it. This becomes a level of resistance that will be used next time the stock approaches this level. So, in other words, if you see the stock approaching this level of resistance again, but it has an increase in volume, it has more momentum, and it will be easier to move above the previous levels that it could not break through last time. Number of touches. The number of times a stock hits and bounces off a level of support or resistance, the stronger it becomes. Support and resistance levels will also become stronger if they have been tested often over a long period of time. Something good to know is that if a level of support is broken and the stock drops, this level of previous support will now act as resistance. Likewise with resistance, if a level of resistance is broken, it will then turn into support. This is something that you will see daily, whether it is swing trading, scalping, day trading, investing, every single time period on the stock charts, you will see support turning into resistance or resistance turning into support. Confirmation off of support. This is the most important thing if you are going to be trading off of support or resistance. You must wait for a sign of buying when you believe that a stock will be reversing directions off of a level of support, such as a few bullish green candles above support, and good volume. Same goes for resistance. If you see a few red selling candles after a stock hits resistance, you may want to sell your positions and look for a lower entry, or open a short position off of the resistance level. Fundamentals. Support and resistance levels are often broken. This does not necessarily mean that the stock will continue in that direction. Sometimes a break of resistance is a short seller's stop loss being triggered, because shorts will open their positions as they see a level of resistance approaching. They will place their stop losses above the level of resistance, anticipating that it will not be broken. So, if the level of resistance is broken, it triggers the short stop losses, which makes the stock go up. But often, the stock does not hold this gain, which is why I say it is what that comes after that is the most important. If you see a stock break resistance, and then you do not see a bullish confirmation candle or larger volume, you can assume that the stock is going to go right back down, and that is not a good time to buy, or maybe open up a short position now. Pretty much what I'm trying to get at here is patience is the most important thing while trading or investing in general. And this is just in support and resistance. Patience is the most important thing with everything, not just trading off of support and resistance levels. So, just touching back on that, this is something I really, really want to stress for new traders. You can't jump into a trade before you see confirmation, because the market wants your money. The market wants to trick you. This goes along with what I just said. So some key takeaways from this lesson, these slides. If something seems too good to be true, it is. The market is always trying to trick you out of your money. Always wait for the price to actually get to the level. Don't trade off anticipation or impatience. That's how many traders lose their money. Look for rejections, spikes, traps, and understand where other traders are placing their stop losses. Think from the perspective of someone who wants to take your money. What are they expecting you to do, and what do they want you to do? One of the most important things from this is to understand where traders are placing their stop losses. See, if you know where traders are placing their stop losses, you can oftentimes assume the direction that a stock will be heading. So I'm going to get into some examples right here. I will show you that right now. So let's start off with SPYDR, SPY, which is the S&P 500 trust that many traders trade options on. And this is the trading day on Friday, the 13th of 2020. And I'm just going to go through with you guys a few of these levels of support and resistance starting from the beginning of the day. So let's get started right here. As you can see, this is where SPYDR opened. I'm going to get ready, get my horizontal lines. So initially, SPYDR sets a resistance level right about here. As you can see, tested multiple times and could not break through this level. Here, it broke through. You can assume that this was the short stop losses getting triggered very quick, because this is the previous level of resistance. Short sellers saw it was approaching here, placed their stop losses directly above the level of resistance. It went above, triggered it, but there was no confirmation. Came back down, sold off, and bounced off right here. So here we have another level of support, initial support. So comes down here, tests this initial level of support, bounces off, comes back up, does not have enough momentum, can't even test the initial resistance level. And here, down here, you can see volume. It's kind of faded, but yeah. So anyway, here it comes back down, does not even test the resistance level, bounces right back up, trades around, comes back down, and breaks through the resistance level. And here is where the bulls' stop losses were triggered. They were placing their stop losses below the support level down here. And these were all triggered when the shorts started hitting hard and hit these stop losses. But there was no immediate bearish confirmation candle down here. It was bought back up, bounced, sure enough, bounced right back off, came right back up, and started trading right back, and came right back up again to test the initial level of resistance. You can see it came up here, bounced off of it a lot, but could not break it. This is kind of a bad diagram of volume down here, but you can see that volume did increase right here as it broke through the level of resistance. Broke through, started trading around, and set another level of resistance right here. Let me get that up there right there for you. Came back down and tested the level of initial resistance and now used it as support. This is what I was talking about with the notes. It broke through the initial resistance and used it as support. Came back down, bounced off support, came back up and tested resistance, and it did trade above the initial resistance for a while, and it did hold, which is the good sign that you were looking for. Never broke through, and sure enough, came back up and started setting new highs of the day until it hit here. Another level of resistance. So, Spider was trading, following the levels of support and resistance, bouncing off, no confirmation candle here, extreme volume pickup here, as you can see. Spider broke out and destroyed the previous level of resistance with one big bullish candle with crazy volume. Came back down, set another level of resistance here. Okay, so now we have another level of resistance. And SPY was trading back around again, came back down, tested the initial resistance, bounced off of it with no confirmation, came back up and broke through this resistance. So this resistance was not very strong at all, but set a new level of resistance right here. Came back down, trading, tested it again, no confirmation except extreme bullish confirmation off of that support. Came back up, broke through this resistance, and then broke through this resistance as well with increased volume, as you can see down here. Broke out, way out of the trend, came back down, and sure enough, tested this initial level of resistance. As you can see from right here, line carries right over to here, tested it, bounced directly off of it with large volume, and closed right here. This is just the first example. Now I'm going to show you guys another, Beyond Meat. So, a lot of you know of the company Beyond Meat. Well, they just had an earnings report the other day, and as you can see, it was very bad, and their stock dropped a lot. But let's go to the beginning of Beyond Meat's trading cycle. Let's go all the way back to here. So, here's Beyond Meat, the beginning. June 5th, 2019. Around here, we can see that Beyond Meat was setting initial resistance. Right around this level. It gapped up above it, very strong, a large volume, just trading like a stock does. Don't forget about this line of initial resistance. Now it is trading above it. Disregard all of the other lines, but just watch. Comes back down. Here's our initial line of resistance. Starts to use it as support a few months later, a long time later. Uses it as support. Breaks through, falls through. Comes back up, tests it again, not enough volume, as well as another bad earnings report, sends it right back down off of this initial resistance level. Stock keeps trading. So it comes back here. And it finds a little bit of resistance here, but it has some good volume, so it breaks back up and through. Comes back around and uses this level as support. Again, it's not the specific number. It's not always going to be the exact number that sets the resistance or support, but it will be the general area. So as you can see right here, this was the general area of the initial line of support becomes support. Okay, just trading around, big red candle, comes back through, breaks back above, just trading around. Here, I'm going to zoom out for you. Uses it as support. So pretty much what I'm trying to get to you is that this level has always been very significant for this stock. And even now, so I'm going to go all the way back. See, level of support, this whole level of resistance. So when Beyond Meat had that bad earnings report, it gapped way down in after hours. And you cannot see after hours on this chart right here, but I could see it on my cell phone. And I can see that Beyond Meat gapped all the way down to about $106, which so happens to be just at our initial resistance level. So the point that I'm trying to get across here is that these support and resistance levels are significant for stocks throughout their entire period of trading. So always have support and resistance lines drawn on your stocks, especially for long-term trading. I'm going to look at one more example for this week. Here we have BigCommerce, BIGC. This stock recently IPO'd around August 20th, 2020, and traded around here. Let's just look at its movements. This is a new stock, so it does not have much trading history to base off of. Set initial resistance here, could not break through it, bounced off of it, came back down, and found a low right here. So here's the low. Bounced off of it, came back up, tested the resistance, and broke through it with a lot of volume. And of course, just like stocks do, came right back down just as fast as it went up. It set another level of resistance right here after it bounced and could not break through once again. So Big C traded around, uses these lines, found another line of support right here. Bounced off of it, came back up, broke through this other level of resistance, the original, came back up and tested the other resistance level, bounced down, and came down to here. This is also another level of resistance. Didn't see this one, but as you can see, it was a level of resistance here too, and here. So this is going to be one that I will be watching this week. I want to see how it will play off of these lines of support and resistance, and I think this is going to be a good example for you guys to see. If it bounces here on this initial line of support, I will see it go back up, break through here, and test this other level at $87. With some good volume, it will definitely break through and test the 103 level once again. This stock looks very good for the long term, but that is not what I'm getting into right now. Just watch this stock in these upcoming weeks with these levels of support and resistance, and I'm sure they will be substantial in your trading. Alright, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if it was helpful and if you guys would appreciate more in-depth videos showing indications and strategies. This was a very basic beginner level type video. Just give me some good feedback on this and let me know if you liked it. And thank you all for watching this if you are still here. And great luck to you trading.